Remember when these two teams faced off a couple of weeks ago at Stamford Bridge? It finished goalless. Despite that fact, though, the SBI has Chelsea as 53% favourites to go through to face City in the final. You look at this, and I suppose you could make a strong argument this is the best chance for silverware for Arsenal or Chelsea this season, considering what is going on elsewhere in their domestic competitions. Who needs this more?
Arsenal, I would say. Chelsea have had more success recently. They're still in the Champions League. Yes, Arsenal are in the Europa League, but I think Arsenal could do with it more. I don't think it's a disaster for either club if they don't win it, but I just think Arsenal, with all the negativity, where they are in the league, the whole thing surrounding Wenger, Sanchez going, I think Arsenal could do with a very positive result.
Do you agree, Shaq?
Yeah, without question. Chelsea still, after all, are defending champions. And Arsenal, as much success as they've had in the FA Cup competition of late, I think they need this to put some of the negative feeling that they've had behind them.
How much will it, though? Like we point to a League Cup success.
It's not going to stop us criticising Arsene Wenger or Arsenal going forward. But at least it helps justify some of what Arsene Wenger keeps trying to sell, even if we refuse to buy.
Yeah, it's got to be Arsenal. Listen, to me, the Arsenal board, I'm beginning to think that they're just quite happy whether it's the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. You know, because there's no way they're getting the top four. Obviously, they're not winning the title. You don't put any money on them winning the Europa League. So, it has to be Arsenal.
From Chelsea's point of view, though, they need a performance, don't they? In the sense that they didn't really turn up at Stamford Bridge. It was a poor showing from them, although Conte did make changes. But you just get a feeling that a bad result here and then maybe, obviously, getting knocked out by Barcelona, and the season could unravel quite quickly.
Yeah, and I think it only adds to the fact that it looks like Conte's not going to be there anyway, which I think really is dragging the whole ship down anyway, to be honest with you, if you want to. Maybe that's going a little bit too far. But I don't think there's any long-term strategy in terms of the management. You know, they had a big win at the weekend, but it was Brighton and Hove Albion, with all respect to them, and they came out fast, sorted the game out, and then were able to take their foot off the gas to a certain extent. They weren't great in the two games against Norwich. They weren't good in this game against Arsenal. You mentioned in the first leg, it was a dreadful game, so I'm expecting more from the second leg. Look, no matter what the SPI says, Chelsea are the better team, right? At this moment in time, they're the better team. So if they turn up away from home or not, play well, and their big players play well, and they do the basics right, they should win this game. But we just don't know that's what we're going to get from Conte's side this season.
I think Chelsea should be the better team.
No Morata, no Fabregas.
And that's the thing. And as much as Morata has struggled, I just feel that there are individuals, Morata included, but as you say, he's not involved. There are individuals within that dressing room that need to have big performances. More so than Chelsea as a team needing to get the better of Arsenal. Now, they get that, yes, pound for pound. I think Chelsea are a better team, but you've not seen that for the last month or so, which is why you need, resulting against a lowly Brighton and Hove Albion apart. They need this as much as they need a good performance as much as anything.
Who are you going for?
I go for Arsenal. I think at home, right now, I think a little bit of a weight lifted off their shoulders. I think they get the job done.
Chelsea.
Yeah?
It's right up Chelsea Street. Arsenal can't go and do what they did in the first leg, and that's pretty much sea tight. Totally un-Wenger-like. They'll come out and play, and that's why they'll lose the game.
You have the deciding vote.
Chelsea.
Chelsea, to make it through. We've heard, haven't we, Andy Carroll, Peter Crouch, Marko Arnautovic. Yeah. Is the latest player to be linked to Chelsea as this big target man they're looking for.
No, he's not a target man.
He's a big man.
Is he?
Of course he is. I know everyone's big to me, but he is big.
He's not a target.
No.
Look, none of the players that Chelsea have been linked with makes any kind of sense to me. And as much as you understand, OK, they're looking for a striker to provide an option, maybe something different from Morata. You want to sign players who push the players who are in the team. And those three that you mentioned, Carroll, Arnautovic and Crouch, I don't think push Morata. I don't think they make him any better. As a result, you know, as much as, again, it might be something different, it's beyond me why Conte would be going for either of those three.
I don't think he is. I don't think it's his play. I don't think it's his play.
Chelsea, then.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Those three. It would seem to me that somebody's really trying to get under the manager's skin. by saying, this is... Morning, let's have a coffee and talk about who we're signing. And then somebody throws those names in, and I can just imagine him bouncing around all the walls in the room. You know,
just tearing out his thread.
As Man City and Man United and the rest just go for some big signings. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Sevilla going into the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey after a 3-1 home win against Atletico Madrid, advancing 5-2 on aggregate. Sevilla bossed this in both legs. Atletico Madrid's season seems to continue to fall apart. Didn't qualify in the Champions League, of course. Won't catch Barca at the top of the table. Now out of the Copa del Rey. Time for Simeone to think elsewhere, think out the box, make that move.
I think so. Sometimes as a coach, your times just stop. Your players stop listening. That little spark that you used to be able to inject into your team is gone. And I think that's where Simeone sits. He doesn't seem as though he can motivate them the way they used to. Certainly, three seasons well, it tells you more about La Liga than anything else. 3 seasons ago, everybody was scared of this team. I'm not so sure everybody's scared anymore.
You think he should stay?
Well, was that a sacking offence?
Didn't say sack.
No,
Is it time for him to go?
For what?
What, for a new challenge, new horizon?
Well, a new challenge, yeah, but it's not because they've lost a game or been out of a cup. They're second in the league.
No, I'm just saying it could be time for him to go.
Yeah.
A Real Madrid player who was confirmed today going to PSG, Lassana Diarra. 33 years of age. You kind of forgot about him since he left Madrid. Coming into this team, what does this say about PSG, where they are? Is this a good deal?
No, I think it's a smart move. I think the likes of Rabiot and Verratti will be able to get a break. Diarra will be able to play at a level that means that certainly in Ligue 1, they're not going to be, hamstrung. So I think this is a smart move. They need a big squad. They want to win as much as they can. I think it's a smart move.
Makes sense?
Yeah, makes a whole lot of sense. Not going to cost them an awful lot of money. Financial fair play, of course, a concern. They can rotate, they can rest players, especially the second half of the season to come. Makes a lot of sense to me.
If he's fit. If he's fit. He's hardly played.
Yeah.
If you look back in his career, as good as he's been when fit, he's not put any kind of run of seasons together where he's played a batch of games. He missed a lot of games.
And
so there's no point at bringing a player in, even if he's cheap as chips, if when you want to give you guys a rest, he's not fit.
Welcome into Extra Time. Welcome back, Shaq. How was the West Coast?
It was lovely, thank you.
You had a good time?
I had a great time.
Did you miss us?
No.
No. There we go. If transferred, who has a greater impact on the team? Dzeko to Chelsea or Aubameyang to Arsenal?
Aubameyang to Arsenal.
You hate Aubameyang.
I don't hate Aubameyang at all. I think Aubameyang's a good player. Scored plenty of goals at Dortmund. I think he has ability. I would suggest that Dzeko would make a bigger difference at Chelsea. Not only if he played, I think he would score goals, but at last they might have somebody who can put a bit of pressure on Morata and help him with his consistency.
I would say he's better than Morata at the moment. No? The way he's falling about all over the parish.
He's having a tough time, Morata, isn't he? But Dzeko could be the man to get him at it.
After watching Ronaldo and Mbappe's collisions this weekend, were any of you guys injured in a match and able to play on?
Never injured, never got a scratch. Never. never even got any grass on me. No mud, never needed a shower after a game. Just got in the car and went home.
Shaka, did you ever injure yourself?
No, I never get injured. Goalies never get injured. They just come out. When they come out, they shout,
he's saying,
grab
did
the ball.
you play on
and
once you got injured? Let answer the person's question, look. Did you ever break a finger or do anything like that, Shaka?
I dislocated a finger during the game.
Did you ever play off? Is that the question? Did you ever play on after getting injured?
Yes, if you let me finish.
All right, OK. No. Every time I got a knock, it came off.
Right, ignore him.
Every time I got a knock, it came off.
I dislocated a finger playing for Newcastle. I broke my finger in the warm-up before a game.
Did you sound?
I didn't know I broke it till the Monday.
No, you sold it on.
There you go, Shaq.
You got a phone and I went, oh. You got a phone and you went, oh.
How did it...
Stevie?
I did actually, yeah. I broke my jaw. And if you get me booked, you would have known that instead of asking the question.
I did know it, but I still teed you up.
All right.
And you played on, yeah?
What was the name of the book then?
I believe it was 5 league titles and a packet of crisps.
Correct.
Is it still available?
Still available, yes.
Good.
In all fine bookstores. And
Actually,
online.
there's far too many available. I was hoping there would be a bit of
When do we get to see Shaka's commercial?
I don't know. I'm still waiting to find out when the launch is going to be.
Well, you should know. If you don't know, how the hell's anybody else going to know?
Say what?
Well, I'm waiting to be told.
Would you still have done the commercial if you'd been injured?
Hey.
Yeah.
How many days do you get back home then for the launch? How many days is that going to entail?
Yeah, how long will the launch? Because
I
the
don't
commercial was a
know.
week.
Well,
and you're
how
only
many do you
filming
hope
for a
it
day.
until?
The
weren't you?
commercial wasn't a full week. It was about 5 days.
Oh, 5 days?
Including
You've
travel.
only got 2 lines.
You
was
told us you
5
were filming
days.
for 2 hours.
It's got
That's
2
not true.
lines.
That's
How
not
do you
true.
take 5 days?
That's not true. It was 5 days, including travel. Trinidad's a long way away.
Oh, my crikey. ESPN FC back tomorrow. You can join us
Go for the
at
launch.
6
You get there the
p.m.
same day.
Eastern.
Unless I go for the launch, I'm not coming back.
ESPN News. Can you take him with you?
He's injured.
I'm injured, but I'll play on. Little cut over my eye.
It's transfer rated time with my special analyst, Stevie Nichols. Stevie, let's
Special?
jump. Yeah, you're always very special,
you.
Stevie. Let's start off with Thibaut Courtois to Real Madrid. We know Real Madrid love quality players, and he is indeed one. We were just talking about David De Gea possibly going yesterday. Today's Courtois, hit or miss?
This is a complete mess. Listen, when Chelsea signed Courtois, they signed him to be their goalkeeper for a decade. He's not even halfway there yet. So this
It's
is
hard to say no to Real Madrid.
Well, it's easier just to give Courtois some more money to keep him happy, which he's happy right now.
Yeah.
He's making no noises about wanting to leave. And so for me, this is a miss. I don't see this happening whatsoever.
Okay, sir. Mo Salah. Ooh, this one will
chance.
cut you deep if it does happen
No,
to Real Madrid.
No.
No, because you don't want it, or no because...
Both.
Okay.
Because Liverpool have just sold Coutinho, which I think this time round was probably the right thing to do. But you and under no circumstances can let Salah go now as well. It's just not happening. It makes no sense from Liverpool's point of view. Certainly from Salah's point of view. Right now it's a step up, but you're going to the champions of Europe. But it's not going to happen. This is absolutely a miss.
So another miss for Stevie Nicol.
Yep.
What about this one? Daniel Sturridge to leave Liverpool. We've been hearing about loan moves to the City A. You think it makes a lot of sense, Stevie?
How about this is 100%?
This is 100%.
Daniel Sturridge, I can't believe he's still there. I'm actually trying to figure out why he is still there.
He needs to go.
He has to go. He doesn't play. You know, at the end of the day, footballers want to be on the field playing. And this guy, I can't even remember the last time he played. So he has to go.
If there ever were a hit, it would be this one.
Absolutely.
Chicharito, now we're hearing from his agent that he has personally told him that he wants to leave West Ham and that there are a number of different clubs interested. So would this be a hit or a miss for him to leave?
I think this is a hit. No question. Again, Chicharito needs to play. He left Manchester United because he wasn't playing. He left Germany because he wasn't playing. He's not playing back in England now. So the only thing that can happen is he has to move. At this stage of his career, he has to be playing. A little bit like Sturridge. So, yeah, this absolutely is a hit.
Again, a World Cup
I just don't know where
year.
it's going to be.
I don't know where it's going to be either.
Yeah.
Olivier Giroud to Dortmund in that swap deal that we've been talking about for Aubameyang.
I think this happens. There's been too much talk, and you know, Arsenal are definitely trying to make some moves. I don't think getting Mkhitaryan for Sanchez is the last one that they'll do.
But you don't think he fits Dortmund?
Not the way they play. He's a completely different player to Aubameyang. You know, Aubameyang's about running in behind and using his pace. Giroud is all about holding the ball up. Listen, this guy plays regularly for France. That's what Deschamps likes him to do. He likes him to hold it up so that Griezmann can get around him. And so Dortmund, and I think he'll go. I think you'll see a slight little change in the way they play. I think they'll end up using him as a target man, and obviously expect some goals on top of it.
All right, you're going to move him to the hit then?
I'm going to make him a hit.
That's right, Stevie. We're making you work today. Thanks so much to Stevie Nicol. Continue tracking all of these transfer rumors here at ESPNFC.com. Inter Milan, according to sources of ESPN FC, have reportedly made a loan offer for Daniel Sturridge, and there have been discussions of a permanent move eventually. Stevie Nicol is here with me on this one, because you know we got to bring in Stevie when we're talking Liverpool. Stevie, we've talked about this for some time now, and the whole Daniel Sturridge saga and what went wrong, but is there any reason why you wouldn't encourage him to go, or why Liverpool wouldn't let him go, especially in a World Cup year?
I'm not sure why Daniel Sturridge would go on loan to Inter to sit on the bench, because that's what he would do.
But they seem to want to be giving him the minutes.
Listen, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they want options. He has quality. Obviously, no surprise, his biggest problem is keeping him fit, but he has quality, and it would make sense for Inter. I just don't think it makes sense for Daniel Sturridge.
If the permanent move is part of the deal, would that make sense then?
It still doesn't change anything. He needs to play. I actually think Serie A would be good for him. I think he should go to a Sampdoria or a Fiorentina, who come and go. You know, they go through peaks and troughs. But definitely, he would play week in and week out, because that's what he has to do. The guy's been sat on the bench for so long that I can't even remember the last time he kicked a ball. So don't go to Inter on loan because you won't play. But certainly go to Serie A for me. Well,
you spoke about two other clubs in Serie A. Word is that Roma are interested in him as well. If Edin Dzeko ends up going to Chelsea, would Roma be a good fit, or at least a better fit than Inter for him? Or would it be the same case?
Listen, if Dzeko goes, then yes, that means there's a hole. And Sturridge can fill that hole. I'm not sure he's the same type of player as Dzeko. But as I said, he's a quality player. So if Roma lose Dzeko, then yes, because he would play.
All right, thanks so much, Stevie Nicol. It's tough for him to let any of his players go at Anfield, but I think Daniel Sturridge is one that definitely, as you said, needs the minutes, and now is the time. There's a lot of swapping going on in football these days. Stevie Nicol is here with me, and we're talking about Arsenal reportedly involved in another potential swap. So we already saw the Sanchez and Mkhitaryan swap. Craig Burley said that was a win-win situation, especially if Arsenal can bring in Aubameyang. Well, now Aubameyang and Olivier Giroud could be involved in a little switcheroo. Stevie, do you think that would equal to a win-win situation all around?
I'm not quite sure this is a win-win.
Who will lose out more?
I'm not so sure that Giroud fits in right now with the way Dortmund played. You know, when Lewandowski was there, they used him as a kind of an old-fashioned centre forward, and then when he left and they brought in Aubameyang, they totally changed the way they played. It was all about pace and on the break and getting in behind. I don't think that suits Giroud, but they could change their style of play.
What about for Aubameyang? Well, lots of people seem to favour this move for him to Arsenal, and we know he does want to leave Dortmund.
I think the fact that Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang, if indeed he does end up at Arsenal, is good for Arsenal fans, because it looks to them as though something's happening. They're trying to make some moves. You know, it gives them something to chew on. But for me, Aubameyang plays through the middle. And that means that Lacazette doesn't play if Aubameyang plays. And for me, I think Lacazette's a better footballer than Aubameyang. So
he's supposed to be the star boy at Arsenal.
Listen, unless Aubameyang can go and play wide, and you have a front three maybe of Aubameyang, Lacazette and Mkhitaryan, then I'm not sure that this works out for Arsenal.
Oh, Giroud. It seems like Giroud's left in a tough situation then.
Well, he has to go. He has to play. Yeah. So if you want an answer, I'll say this is better for Giroud than anybody, including the clubs.
All right, thanks so much, Stevie Nicol. Where Arsene Wenger sort of weighed in on this one in the Tuesday press conference and said they're not close to any deal of the sort. But we know that managers like to say these things, and then we see a deal happen. So we'll continue tracking this one here at ESPNFC.com. Alexis Nunes alongside Stevie Nicol. We're talking Manchester City. City have had some issues in defence. Some have been addressed, but because of injuries, Stevie, Pep Guardiola seems to want to bolster it up more and bring in some reinforcements. Aymeric Laporte, 23-year-old from Atletico Bilbao, seems to be a target. How badly do City need someone like this? Well, I think you have to say that if they're going for every trophy they're in, which is 4 different competitions, then you're going to need a big squad. I think the fact that they want to win the 4 is why they're looking at this guy. Delph and Mendy's injury has really pushed them to maybe look at this. Had those two been fit, I don't think they'd be looking at this guy right now. At the same time, I don't think it's a bad move. You know, Otamendi, in 2 or 3 years, maybe past his best. You're bringing in a 23-year-old who really looks like he's one for the future. Exactly. So should they go for someone more established then, though?
No, I think because then you'll bring him along. You know, I think his defensive partnership, no question, is Stones and Otamendi. That's That's his first choice, as far as I'm concerned. So why not bring Laporte in, and then you can give one of them a rest and play him and give him some time, and he can learn how City go about things, how they play, and then all of a sudden, you've got another starter.
Well, Johnny Evans has also been linked with Manchester City, and we've been talking about that. Some surprise, some think it makes sense because, you know, he's experienced, he knows the Premier League inside and out. If you had to choose the two or get into Pep Guardiola's ear, who would you give the edge to?
I'm going Laporte because he's 23. I don't think Johnny Evans particularly suits the style of football they play. He's competent on the ball. He certainly knows how to defend, but, you know, the chances that City take passing the ball out from the back, I don't think that suits Johnny Evans at all. So Laporte would be the one for me.
Okay, so Laporte, the target for Manchester City in their defensive reinforcing process. Stevie Nicol thinks that it makes a whole lot of sense.